Hey everybody, how y'all doing? It's me, Justin, your vision coordinator, and I just really want to talk to you for a few minutes tonight because I did a call earlier today and I was so motivated and pumped, and you all weren't on the call. So I want to go ahead and share some of the thoughts that I got out of this. I think that it's extremely relevant given this time of the season uh, as you consider 2018. And listen, if you're not already doing this, let me just go ahead and encourage you first to start right there. So if you've not in this month done some kind of intentional look back at the last year to see where you are and how well you are accomplishing the things that you set as goals for this year, I just want you to stop the video right now and go do that. I'll wait. Stop the video. Okay, because really, this not even going to help you unless you're taking the time, you're implementing it. And I get it. If this is the first time you've heard this, you may be like, wow, what are you even talking about? But I just want you to stop for just a second and take some time this month to really reflect on 2018. How much of what you started did you actually accomplish? How much of the things that you reached out for actually came through? You hopefully set some goals. Now, maybe you didn't set them with the term goals. Maybe you set a resolution, or you said, I want to make a change, or you said, I want to do fill in the blank. And so if you're not taking the time to look back and actually see whether or not you've accomplished it, you're missing a great learning tool because it's going to teach you so much. Okay. So I want you to know that off rip. But the whole point of this video, this specific video, is as I considered from that perspective this year, and I'm in this space of reflecting back, I keep coming across like really just this same thing, that life is full of obstacles. How I deal with those obstacles really has a lot to do with where my priorities are. And where my priorities are going to really define how successful I am at accomplishing my goals. So let me wrap this to you. Let me give this to you pretty, hopefully straightforward and simple. Whatever you set for a goal this year, whatever thing it was that you wanted to accomplish, maybe it was losing weight, maybe it was saving money, maybe it was go back to school, maybe it was get a different job, whatever it was, whatever thing you set for yourself this year, something prohibited that. Now, you had an idea in your mind of when you were going to accomplish that, but something happened along the way. I would bet good money that something happened that it did not go the exact way that you had intended for it to go. In which case, you faced an obstacle. You faced something, a hindrance, something that was preventing you from accomplishing that which you wanted to do. Okay, so good, right? We agree with that. I think we can start from that place, that in life, there are going to be things I want to do, and there are going to be obstacles that come up. Now, obstacles can take different forms. It's not always literally a brick wall in the middle of my pathway. Sometimes it's a trap. It looks like firm ground until I step in it, and it turns into not sinks in. It turns into sand that's causing me to sink. I start to fall. It turns into a trap around my noose, and all of a sudden I'm upside down. It turns into some kind of situation that's got me turned backwards, and I thought I was going one way, but now I'm completely lost in the swamp in the marsh. So what I don't want to do, however, is allow those obstacles to prevent me from accomplishing my goals. And so what I have to learn how to do is two things. I talked about this on my call earlier today. One, identify my obstacle, and two, remove it. And so once I see this, once I have experienced it, and hopefully I only have to experience it one time to realize this is not good for me to repeat. Now, you may say to yourself, well, what kind of things are that? So let's say that you want to eat better, and you experienced at the beginning of the year Valentine's Day, and it hit like a hammer because, man, you ate 5 pounds of chocolate. And so instead of losing that weight that you thought you were going to, you instead ate all that chocolate. That is the obstacle. What? Holidays. And so 4th of July, Mother's Day, Easter, Christmas, Thanksgiving, it seems like every couple of months, Halloween, all those things should have been obstacles that you identified. And then how do I remove them? I just have to come up with some way to avoid getting caught. Now, I can't remove the holiday from the calendar, but I can sure limit my interactions with people who aren't going to support me in that. So if I got somebody who's like, hey, I'm going to buy all this candy, and whatever I don't eat or give away to the kids in the neighborhood, I'm bringing to work, and you know that you I mean, you just got to be smart about it. Either you can't come to work that day, you got to, as soon as they bring and drop that candy off, grab it up and take it to the next floor and give it to somebody else. You got to make sure that you lose some extra weight in advance so that in case you go ahead and you treat yourself to a little bit of candy, you actually still are where you want to be on your goals. But you've got to identify that obstacle, and then you got to work to remove it. Now, sometimes those obstacles look like friends, because if you know that I'm trying to lose weight and yet you're deliberately going to bring that, you're a saboteur. You're sabotaging me. You're a spy. You're a turncoat. I don't want anything to do with you. If I'm trying to lose money and you trying to go out every time, if I say I'm trying to put aside X amount of money, me and my spouse, we working towards, me and my partner, my goal for myself is to put X amount of money aside, and every time I turn around, you like, girl, you don't need to save that money. You just need to come on over here and buy these new Jimmy Choos. Wrong answer. You're sabotaging me. You're an obstacle to my success, to what it is that I'm trying to accomplish. So I have to be willing to let you go. I have to be willing to let you go. And so when I'm looking back at 2018, what were the obstacles in your life? What are the things that you don't want to do again in 2019? What are the things that you want to try to avoid, that you're not going to try to repeat, that you're not going to turn around and be like, here we go again. It's the same old, same story, same ending, same situation, same frustration, same stress, same no change, except now I'm a little bit older and maybe I got 2 gray hairs instead of 1. Don't do it. Identify the obstacles, remove the obstacles. Okay, now what will that do? If you're willing to do that, if you're willing to make that decision that you're going to remove the obstacles, even if they're friends, even if they're family, even if they're close people, even if they're uncomfortable, even if it hurts for a little bit, even if it's a permanent, not a temporary thing, if you're willing to remove those obstacles from your life, you begin to optimize your life for your success. Optimize your life for your success. Now, this is a term that's really pretty new to me, but I understand it like this. So let me give you what I understand, and then I hope that you will begin to see what it is that I want you to do with your life. When you go to work, your work's optimized for success, but it's not for your success. Like, don't get me wrong, your job wants you to be successful, but your success actually means the company makes more money, which means the owner of the company gets more money. So he optimizes the job so that you can come in, fill a role, and then leave, and he can get somebody else to come in and fill a role and leave. But the thing that doesn't change is the money going to his pockets. So he'll gladly extend to you an opportunity to do whatever for X amount of hours, days, weeks, whatever like that. But ultimately, your desk space, the machine that you use, the area that you go, the training manuals that you read, the people who work are all designed to optimize you to produce the best product, the best service, so that that person who's in charge, who owns the company, continues to get paid. So it's optimized for his or her success. And when you come in, what do? You create your own little space. You put your pictures of your family, right? So you have motivation for why you want to do it. You learn the best ways to do it. In fact, if you can come up with a more streamlined way, you're encouraged to do so. Why? You're optimizing for the success, which leads to the paycheck, bigger for the person who owns the company. I want you to optimize success for your own life. See, here's the thing. You're gifted, you're talented, you're called. You were put here for purpose. It's not by accident that you're here, right here in this moment, in this space, in this time. And so in order for you to execute at the highest levels, in order for you to do all the things that you're meant to do, in order for you to accomplish at the very best who you can be, you need to optimize your life for your success. Now, the way I do that is by prioritizing the things that I want to accomplish in my life. So what are you going to accomplish in 2019? As you look back at 2018, I guarantee as you look back, you're going to see some things that you wanted to do that you didn't get done. And you're going to say to yourself, man, what can I do in order to make that happen? Now, if you will say that and you will be honest, and this is why I always encourage using the month of December to look forward into January and kind of plan out what you want to do. If you will take that time and be honest, you're going to realize I didn't prioritize. I didn't make this the number one thing that was most important for me to allocate what time and resources I have. So think about it. I say this all the time. In my book, Simple Plans, you have 86,400 seconds in a day. Now, if you work 8 hours a day, you just contributed several thousand seconds. to that job. You no longer have that time. That you don't have that much time left. Now, if you sleep for another 8 hours or 6 hours, now you have even less time left for you to allocate to the things that you want to allocate to. So you can't afford to lose an hour on social media or 2 hours watching sports or 3 hours reading a book. And I'm a huge book fan. And then still expect to accomplish the things that you say you really want to do. So when I prioritize something, I say to my brain, hey, I want you to think about ways to make this happen. I want you to utilize your imagination in order to accomplish this. I want you to go ahead and come up with networking ideas and creative things. And I want this to be at the forefront of your mind. And then when it's not in the forefront, because I'm doing my job for somebody else, I want it in the back of your mind coming up with ideas so that I can live the most successful, the most happy, the most joyous, the most accomplished, fulfilled life. Because the things you're here to do, only you can do. I can't do them for you. I can hear you talk about it and be excited and think to myself, wow, that's a great idea. And I have some great ideas that could go along with that. But only you see it. Only you know how you would implement it and how you would execute it. So consequently, what does all that mean at the end of the day? It means that until you prioritize whatever it is that you want to accomplish, you shouldn't be surprised that you're not accomplishing it. And as you look back at 2018, I guarantee that you'll see some things that you didn't prioritize and yeah, you didn't accomplish it. Or you thought you were going to get it done sooner, but because there were other things that came along and those things became the priorities, then you didn't get that thing done and so you ended up doing it later. Which may or may not be good. I mean, it's on you. It's your life. But it's going to suck to look back at life and say, man, if I'd only prioritized this, I would have accomplished this and this and this and this and this and this. So where's your priorities lay? And once you begin to prioritize those things that you really want to accomplish, and listen, here's the beauty of life. Even though you don't know how much life you have, you know that you're going to live, Lord willing. And so as long as you are living, you should be working towards accomplishing something. So I'm not going to try to do everything right away. I'm gonna work one thing and then I'm going to get that done. I'm going to work something else and then I'm going to get that done. I'm going to work something else and I'm going to get that done. So I set priorities and I accomplish those things, and each of those makes me better. Each of those brings more resources. It's that whole kind of snowball effect that they talk about with credit cards and paying off debt. So I pay off the highest income or interest and then the next one and then the next one. And then I take what I was using for that previous one and I apply it rather than just like sprinkling a little bit around to all the different cards. Well, if I do that with my priorities, with my work, I'll actually find myself accomplishing more things. Because I applied to the most important thing, which gave me the skills, the motivation, that boost, that pump, that, hey, you did it, let's keep going. And so I want to be willing to do that. I want to be willing to prioritize. Okay, so I talked about priorities, but I'm talking about this because it's so important. So many times we're afraid to say, this is what's most important, because we know saying this is more important than this is basically saying no to this while saying yes to this. But I want to encourage you that there are superpowers found in your ability to say N-O. No. To say, no, I'm not going to go here. No, I'm not going to watch that. No, I'm not going to hang out. No, I'm not going to put my money there. Is just huge relief comes from just saying no. I'm a huge sports fan, but I haven't watched sports this year. I had to say no to it because I didn't want to watch other people doing their dreams while I was out there not doing mine. So I said, I'm going to work on my dream while you live your dream. And so a friend of mine just recently asked me, hey, you going to watch the game? It was a big game, SEC Championship, Georgia, Alabama. And I said no. And man, I really wanted to watch that game. And in fact, I even got on Twitter and I was following some of it along the way. And I was like, cool. But I was like, I got other things to do. And sure enough, my daughter was hurting and I had to go and handle that situation between me and my wife. And so we took care of that. And if I had been watching the game, I would have been torn, right? Between trying to help my daughter and watching the game. And if you're looking at me all like, how could you be like that? You're just not a sports fan. But if you're a sports fan, you know how stressful it can be sometimes when things are going on and you're trying to like focus on two, especially when it's your team. But because I said no to the game first, I was able to be present with what was going on with my team. Not my team. Well, yeah, it is my team, with my family. I was able to be present with them and everything that they were going through and be in that moment with them and help to resolve those situations. So that was good. That was great. But I had to say no to sports as a priority a long time ago to be able to say yes in this moment when my daughter really needed me. And what I'm going to encourage you in 2019 is to go ahead and begin to think of the things that you're going to say no to so that you can say yes to your life, yes to your gifting, yes to you accomplishing what God has placed you here to do. Okay, once you prioritize, then you give resources. Now, what are my resources? Because I already hear you saying I don't have a lot of resources, whatever. You do. You have a lot of resources. You got 86,400 seconds every day. It's renewable. For as long as you live, every single day, you get time. And every single day, that time goes. But if you're blessed again to see the next day, that time comes back. So you got 86,400 seconds of time that you can allocate right now to whatever it is that you choose to allocate it to. You can allocate it to social media. You can allocate it to the phone. You can allocate it to the computer. You can allocate it to watching sports. You can allocate it to whatever you want to. It's your time. All right. Not only that, as a resource, you got your money. Now you tell me it's not a lot of money. It's not a lot of money, Justin. I don't have a lot of money. But at the end of the day, I know you probably have bought a Snickers bar this week, or you went out to eat, got some fast food, something that you didn't allocate every single dollar to. Now, not everybody's like that. There are some of you out there who every single dollar has a job, but quite a bit of us, we spend our money. And if you don't believe me, take a sheet of paper, take a pen, and for 1 week, just one week, write down every single thing that you spend money on. Every time you swipe the card, just write it down. And I guarantee you at the end of 1 week, you'll find it. $5 on coffee, $10 here at Starbucks, $12 right there at the Chinese spot, $5 to have somebody wash your car, whatever. I guarantee you'll find some money, some resources that you can allocate. You could use that allocation on the gym membership. You could use that allocation to go back to school, take a class. You could use the allocation to get a book and expand your mind. Okay? So you've got time, you've got money, you've got your mind. How many of you are just filling your mind up with just useless junk? I mean, just useless junk. I'm a big reader. I love reading. And I'll be completely honest with you. I love reading fiction. I love to go away to those new places and see those new things and in my mind live out the life of the characters. But that is a lot of junk too. There's a lot of stuff out there that I read that I'm just like, why did I read that? What is that going to help me with? How is that going to make me? Wow, they're so cool. Listen, if you didn't know, spoiler alert, the good guy always wins. It doesn't matter how hard the odds are. The movies, it's the same thing. You listen to this music and nothing wrong with it, but if you're caught up in it and you can't do what it is that you're here to do. See, those people who you're watching, who you're following, who you're liking, who you're sharing their stuff, they're living their life. And it's because their life is optimized for their success that you actually like what they do. You like the fact that they focus on basketball. You like the fact that Steph Curry shoots thousands of threes. You like the fact that LeBron James is a monster and he absorbs game film. You like the fact that Tom Brady does what he does. You like these things. That's what you like about them. But their lives are optimized for their success. They're not sitting there thinking about you. So until you get where they are, why are you worried about them? I want you to take the resources that you have. Listen, you have a network. You have people around you. And I want you to take a hard look at your network, because if your network is just the same as everybody else, if you're in the same boat as everybody else, if nobody in your network is doing better than you, giving you something to aspire to, I'm just going to go ahead and encourage you to get a better network. And I get it. You might not want to hear that, but I'm just going to be completely 100 with you. If you want to succeed, you're going to have to elevate yourself. If you're going to elevate yourself, it's really hard to do that when everybody around you is the same, because there's no incentive for you to change. But if you will surround yourself with some people who are doing just a little bit better or a lot better than you, it will motivate you to come up with ways to get to their level, to rise to the level of the situation that you find yourself surrounded by. But if there's nothing surrounding, it's the same reason we say in basketball that a team plays down to the level of their competition. So, I mean, it's a sucky team. We don't have to take them seriously. We're not going to blow them out. But when it's a tremendous team, or where we're locked in, all cylinders firing, everybody's locked in completely, we're playing the very best we can. Why? Because the level of those around us is how we respond. I don't want you to be like that. I want you to know that your network is a resource, that your mind is a resource, that your money is a resource, that your time is a resource. And I want you to allocate that accordingly to the things that you prioritize so that your life is optimized for your success. That's the important part. And if you can do that, if you can really just go ahead and put that time in and put that work in and make that decision that I'm not going to stay the same in 2019 that I was in 2018, it will change. You will see yourself accomplish that goal of losing that weight. You will see yourself accomplish that goal of putting that money aside. You will see yourself accomplish. You will find the money and then you will save the money every single month out of every single year till you get where you want to be. To impact, to accomplish, to do, to change the world. Okay, but none of that matters if you won't actually do it. Okay? You have to do something. See, this is a good step, right? You're sitting here, you're watching this video, it's 20 minutes in, you're like, yeah, I feel that. But see, what had happened was, I want you to tell me. You can write in the comments below. Feel free. You can call me up. You can push the button on the Simple Plans Leadership Academy page and set up a call with me, and we can get together. But I want you to let me know if you're willing, if you're ready to be honest, if you're really ready to change, how much of your life this past year you didn't accomplish simply because you wouldn't do it. Simply because you wouldn't do it. See, it's not so much sometimes that we don't have the time or the skills, the knowledge, the resources. It's not sometimes those things. Sometimes we have all of that. And the only reason why we didn't accomplish the task was because we didn't do it. The only reason why I'm not a bestseller, the only reason why my book didn't get published, the only reason why I didn't run the 440, the only reason why I didn't doesn't have anything to do with genetics, doesn't have anything to do with my network. I just simply didn't do it. I simply didn't get up and go work out. I simply didn't roll out of bed and go train. I simply didn't go and write. I simply did not do it. I instead did XYZ. I was only going to give myself 5 minutes on social media, and I should have known this was a trap because I've tried this 5 minutes on social media 10 times before, and every time I end up doing 5 hours on social media. But, hey, this day was going to be different. It wasn't. And so you stuck. And so you in the same place. I should have just pushed away. I shouldn't have eaten that extra chicken wing. I should have just left it alone. And so sometimes I question whether or not you really prioritized it when you won't go out there and do it. But here's the thing. There's a really good scripture. It says faith without works is dead. And so there's this idea, right? Faith is the thing that's hoped for but not seen. But you see it in your mind, right? Because that's where you imagine it. That's where you believe it. That's where it comes from. That's the first time you see it. God puts the idea in your head of who you could be, of what you could do. Maybe he uses somebody third party. They come and they say, man, you got a really great voice. Wow, you're really good at this. You have great and tremendous skills here. I would love to see you do this right here. In fact, let me invest in you. Let me pour in you. And honestly, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm investing in you. I'm pouring in you. I'm encouraging you. I'm trying to tell you, you can do it. And so in your mind, you see this thing, you close your eyes, right? And you can imagine, you can touch it, you can taste it, you can see the change. You can see what the change means, not just for yourself, but for everybody around you. You can see how it changes your neighborhood. You can see how it changes your community. You can see how it changes your family. You can see how it grows you and expands you and impacts you and causes the world to be a better place and a safer place. And it's just so powerful. And so then you're like, and you look around and you realize that nothing's changed. And perhaps in that one moment where you could just see it, you could just touch it, you could just smell it, you could just taste it. But now you've opened your eyes and everything's still the same. It forces you to freeze. It causes you to flinch. It makes you hesitate. And so instead of just doing it, instead of just reaching out, instead of just going forth to conquer, You don't. The unfortunate part is when you do that, when that's your hold up, when that's where you miss it, when you don't move the way you want to, sometimes our windows close, our windows of opportunity. Now, I'm not saying your window of opportunity closed in 2018, but I'm encouraging you to not give it a chance to close again in 2019. Some of you, the only thing that's stopping you from accomplishing the greatness that lies on the inside of you is your willingness to do it, your willingness to write that book, your willingness to take that class, your willingness to stretch yourself further than you've ever stretched yourself, your willingness to try something new. Steve Harvey says it's your willingness to jump, it's your willingness to leap, it's your willingness to fly, it's your willingness to take a class, it's your willingness to make yourself different from everybody else in pursuit of what you really want to accomplish. Will you be willing to just do it? That's the question at the end of the day. And so really, as you look back on 2018 and you move into 2019, because 2019 is here. It's here, y'all. We 26 days away from 2019. Knock, knock on your door. January 1st is here. 2018 is no more. You should be thinking about how I can optimize my life for my success. Who do I need to surround myself with? What do I need to do first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter in order for me to accomplish what I want, so that by December 2019, when I'm sitting back looking at what's going on, I'm going to be saying, yes, check mark, check mark, check mark, check mark. That's what I'm talking about. It's a good year. And I'm going to look at my family and I'm going to smile, and I'm going to look at my kids and I'm smiling. I'm going to look at my community and I'll be like, come on, 2020, it's time. You don't get any of the seconds that have went by in your life wasted ever again. You don't get any of the years that you've lived ever again. You don't get those moments with your children ever again. And so you have to decide for yourself whether it's a trade-off that's acceptable for you to live the same way and do the same thing and have the same lifestyle, or whether it's worth the effort, the priorities, the resources, the time to move you to where you want to be, to move you to who you're supposed to be, to move you into all that you can be. I want to encourage you with all of my heart, as somebody who too is in this same journey, as who is along with you, moving in that direction, that it is worth it. You should be encouraged. You can do it. You wouldn't dream about it. You wouldn't think about it. You wouldn't taste it in your sleep if you weren't capable of doing it. There is nothing wrong with being focused on a goal and spending your entire life in pursuit of it and changing and growing and developing new skills along the journey. That is success. That is a life filled with success. And it's much better than wasting your entire life kind of just going around in circles, touch a little bit of this, touch a little bit of that, do a little bit of this, impact a little bit here, and never fully live up to your potential. I don't want that for you. I want you to be successful at the highest level. I want you to accomplish your life. I want you to optimize your life. Optimize your life. Set your priorities. Put your mind to work. Put your resources to work. Put your network to work. Put your time to work. Put your money to work. And do it so that you can be the very best that you're meant to be. All right, so I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. I know it was a little longer than some of my other ones, but it's really kind of right in line with the course that I've created. So in the year strong, I've created my own courses on the Simple Plans Leadership Academy. And if you're interested, feel free to go to the link. I've got a free course for you in December on goal planning. Because as you look towards going into the new year, you're going to need to know how to goal plan. And if you want to see the whole 3-lecture course on goal accomplishing, Christmas special, it's only $29.99. Feel free to follow the link available to you. I hope to see you there. I hope you'll check it out. I hope you'll check out the Facebook page, Simple Plans Leadership Academy. I hope you'll follow me on Instagram, Minister Justin 34. Thanks for your time, though, and I hope that you've been blessed by this video. Share it with a friend, and you take care. See y'all next time.